Ladies, we are here tonight on the show. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have obviously Monday Night Raw recap, but also before that, we do have some news, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight. So let's get this shit started here tonight. I'm trying not to curse that much. Let's get this puppy started here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I think that might have to do with the views maybe being down. I got to be more family friendly. Anyways, so apparently now, they keep, I thought it was gonna happen for sure with them promoting a bunch of The Rock's match, especially going back to the feud he had with John Cena, starting all the way back, like what was it, WrestleMania 27, and then having the two matches at WrestleMania 28 and 29. And then they started selling The Rock's merchandise again on WWE.com shop. I'm like, oh, for sure it's happening. But now The Rock, the WWE has saying that it's been months now, apparently, since The Rock told him, I'm just not going to be able to get in shape to have a match at WrestleMania. And apparently, I still think it's possible they're just trying to do this to throw the fans off so it can continue to be a surprise. But WWE keeps saying, no, it's been months since he told us he's not going to be able to do it. And now apparently Sean Rossap is reporting that WWE has offered Stone Cold Steve Austin a bunch of money to fight somebody else. And a lot of people believe he might be the replacement for The Rock if he's not able to make it. And it will now be Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Because the plan was that if The Rock couldn't make it, it was going to be Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. That was supposed to be the plan. That was the backup plan the whole time. But now they're saying that it was possible that at least it was thought of that it could Stone Cold Steve Austin be replacing The Rock and instead him fighting Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Also, they're saying that this because it was said to be WWE has offered Stone Cold Steve Austin a bunch of money to fire a certain star in WWE. And a lot of people are assuming it was if he's going to replace The Rock if he can't face Roman Reigns. But a lot of people are saying it's actually for Brock Lesnar. That this was so WWE was actually trying to have Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and freaking Roman Reigns versus The Rock. And then John Cena, I believe John Cena versus Austin. That would have been crazy if that would have been the case, if all three were going to be on the show. Apparently, that's a rumor as well, that the plan was to have Stone Cold versus Brock Lesnar, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. That would have been crazy. And John Cena versus Austin Theory, that would have been crazy. But Jesus Christ. But it looks like that might be off because it looks like what happened last night at the end of Monday Night Raw. It looks like Brock Lesnar can continue his feud with Bobby Lashley after costing him the United States Championship last night. But it's only January, so maybe they have the match at Royal Rumble. I don't think so because they're not going to have it until it's already like 5 days away. No, that's going to today was probably they planted the seeds to begin that storyline, and they're probably going to have the match at WrestleMania. So yeah, so that's probably going to be Brock Lesnar's match versus Bobby Lashley. So let's leave at this point. I guess you can throw Stone Cold Steve Austin in there for a possibility of Roman Reigns. I think at this point there's about 4 people I can think of: Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and Sami Zayn. I think are all possibilities to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I think all 4 of them are possible. So we'll see what happens. But apparently WWE offers Stone Cold Steve Austin a bunch of money to fight at WrestleMania, whether it was against Roman Reigns or Stone Cold Steve Austin. The fact is they're trying to get him on the show. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. So they talked about the reason when they were supposed to have it was supposed to be the Trifle Chief, the acknowledgement from all the generations of the bloodline, and instead they switched it to the Sami Zayn trail. And the reason they did that is because they get a lot of the Rikishi and Alpha and Sika couldn't make the show. I believe Alpha and Sika are Roman Reigns' uncle and father, and then obviously Rikishi's Solo Sokola's and the Usos' father. Apparently, they couldn't make the show. I don't know why. So that's why they ended up switching and instead just everything's trailed. But the plan was to have the Trifle Chief being acknowledged by the entire Bloodline generation. But I don't know why. I'm gonna say maybe health reasons, or maybe they're older, so they don't want to travel. They were not able to make it, especially Sika and Alpha. I think they're a little bit older, so maybe that's why. Who knows? But that's why they went with it. I thought they went with it. They thought it was a better idea, but no, they switched it because one of them, or at least two of them, Alpha, Shika, and Rikishi, couldn't make the show. So that's why they switched it to the Sami Zayn trail instead. The Bella twins were booked for the show. They actually flew to Philadelphia. They decided not to attend the show in the final hours due to they felt that they were not going to do a good job of advertising the women's revolution. I think they did it on Instagram live stream saying that they felt that because of Sasha Banks leaving the company and now going to New Japan as Mercedes Moné, they were not going to want to do it a lot of the woman revolution stuff because a lot of it was revolved around Sasha Banks. So that's what they were saying. Like, we just feel like we're not going to get the respect we deserve for what we did, or in our time helping out with the women's revolution. They did have a segment though where Charlotte came out and she talked about the women's revolution, and she mentioned the Bella twins. But I wonder, the Bella twins, I think they're like in a Legends contract, which is like a contract they give to wrestlers once they're retired, which means they still pay you and you only make a few appearances a year. And I do wonder if that contract could now be in trouble with them skipping, right? And they get a bunch of sponsorships, right? Obviously, I think they have their reality show, Tora Bellas. You wonder if all that could possibly go away if they were to lose their Legends contract with WWE, because Triple H said in the past that these women sometimes think they've made it and they don't need the WWE anymore. And they leave WWE. They have all these sponsors. And then once the sponsors find out they're not with WWE anymore, they no longer care for them. He said back in the day, a bunch of the women would like make it in Playboy, and they're like, "Oh, we're good now. We can just do more magazines." And then they would resign from WWE, and then months later, we're not getting any more sponsors. They don't care anymore. It's like being an NFL player. You're like Baker Mayfield, all those commercials he was making, right, with Cleveland. Once he got kicked out of Cleveland, have you seen a commercial with Progressive? No, because he's no longer part of that team. The Progressive is in, like, I believe the headquarters is in Cleveland, and that's why they were doing all the commercials. As soon as he got traded to the LA Rams, no more Progressive commercials. Same thing. So you wonder if the Bella twins had a pendejo moment, because now they do lose a bunch of sponsors, perhaps even their their Total Diva show. We'll see what happens, but I don't be surprised if WWE just releases them now because I'm not showing up. We'll see what happens, man. And the way they kind of talk shit on that live stream about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. I think it's time to talk about Monday Night Raw Anniversary 30, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get everything out here. Let me get my Raw recap out of here, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight on a freaking let's see here. We got a good article in here. All right, so here we go. Monday Night Raw from Philadelphia, ladies and gentlemen. Good choice, good city to do it. It's a show you got to make sure you do it in a good city, like a Chicago, a New York, a Boston, a Philadelphia. You got to make sure you get a good crowd, and that seems to be the best crowd in wrestling. either in the East Coast or up in the Midwest in Chicago, or maybe Toronto too. They have good crowds. Toronto, Canada overall. Those are probably the best crowds. So good choice to do it in Philadelphia. Maybe you got because it's in Philadelphia, you probably got a bunch of New York people going to the show as well. So yeah, good choice to do it in Philadelphia, a show like this. So here we go, man. We started off with freaking Hulk Hogan, man. His microphone wasn't working. He just pretty much say, "Good to be here, 30 years in the making." And then I think he just said, "Let's go run wild on you," like the Philadelphia Eagles started cheering him. Remember, they still boo him a lot because I think he's racist, right? Or at least they made a video saying he was racist. Like, it's something I leaked, so they boo him. So I'm sure they told him, "Hey, say that Philadelphia Eagles part because at least they can cheer you for that." So yeah, that's how they start off. And then they go right away, man. We start off with the freaking the Sami Zayn trail, right? They call it the trifle court with Sami Zayn. Damn, right off the bat, Paul Heyman's like, they start cheering ECW, ECW, ECW. Paul Heyman's like, ECW is dead, and I wish Sami Zayn will be too. Right off the bat, you're like, yep, tonight's the final night. They're kicking them out. And Roman Reigns, I think, Paul Heyman starts showing a bunch of evidence of why he thinks Sami Zayn should get kicked out of the bloodline. And then, after showing the evidence, they, parts of when Sami Zayn kind of messed up, like on this past, on SmackDown, not being there on time to help Roman Reigns in the contract signing when he got attacked by Kevin Owens, stuff like that. And then Roman's like, "What do you have to say for yourself, Sami Zayn? How do you defend yourself?" And he's like, "I have no defense, man. My feelings are hurt. I can't believe this happened tonight. I can't believe Paul Heyman did this to me." And Roman's like, that's how you're gonna act like back out there about this after everything I've done for you, after welcoming you into my family, and you're not even gonna try to like defend yourself. It seems like you don't even care. And then he just yells, "Solo!" And then Solo gets up. He freaking grabs Sami by the neck, and he extends his the thumb to hit him with the Samoan spike. And as he's gonna hit the Samoan spike, freaking Jey Uso, out of all people, grabs him and grabs his arm and blocks him, stops him from Samoan spiking Sami Zayn. And then freaking Jey Uso's like, "Hey, with all due respect, my tribal chief, I also have some evidence of Sami Zayn actually helping us in certain different situations." And he pulls up some videos of Sami Zayn. I think one was all the way back to like June. Jesus Christ, I didn't realize this storyline had been going on for like 6-7 months now. I think they're having like a tag team match with Matt Riddle and Orton, and they play Roman Reigns' music. It distracts Riddle and Orton, and that helps the Usos win. And Sami Zayn gets shown in the truck playing the Roman Reigns music to distract Randy and Matt Riddle. I remember that episode. I just didn't realize Jesus Christ, that was all the way back in June. Obviously, he shows in the Survivor Series War Games match. So yeah, man, how he finally, he hits, he stops the referee from counting 3 as Kevin Owens is about to pin Roman Reigns, and then he pretty much hits us a haluva kick on Kevin Owens and offers them to Jey Uso to hit the frog splash and win the match. So yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, man, pretty much he convinces at least Roman Reigns for now that he's proven not guilty, and that he will for now be a part of the bloodline. He tells him, "I do not want to see you anymore after tonight until Saturday at Royal Rumble, and that's when your final. That's when we'll for sure see if you deserve to be part of the bloodline or not." And so they Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns walk away, and then they set to have the tag team match, man. The Usos defending their tag team titles against Dominic and Damian Priest from Judgment Day. And then in this match, man, freaking Jimmy Uso goes down with a leg injury, and he can't compete anymore. He can't go. So Adam Pearce comes on. He's like, "I gotta stop this match, man. You guys are gonna have to forward the titles to Judgment Day if you can't continue." And Zemi's like, nope, I'll do it, man. I'll replace Jimmy. And Adam Pearce like, well, a few weeks ago I did this in the tag team turmoil for the New Day, for the Judgment Day. I'll do it tonight for the Bloodline. So Sami Zayn replaces Jimmy. So now it's Sami Zayn and Jay versus Dominic and Damian Priest. And hell of a match, man. At the end, obviously, I thought for sure the Judgment Day was going to win tonight, and they were going to split the tag team titles, the Raw tag team titles from the SmackDown. But no, they retain. And Jay Uso, Sami Zayn helps the Usos retain. Roman Reigns looks satisfied backstage in his little room, in his locker room. But he, again, once the match is over, he tells Paul Heyman, make sure I don't see him again until Saturday. I don't want to hear from him for the rest of the week. So great stuff, man. That took about the first at least 30 minutes off the show, man. Jesus Christ. That whole segment with that adding the match as well. That was crazy, man. That stuff was crazy, man. Let's go. Look at all the stuff they wrote for this on the next match. Man, Jesus Christ, this took so much. Let's see here. Next match was you start getting backstage stuff. Baron Corbin and JBL, they start playing poker with a bunch of the legends. They wouldn't let Baron Corbin in, so he had to pay I don't know how much money to get in. That was kind of funny. And then we get a good cool ass thing, man. We get LA Knight doing a promo on Bray Wyatt, how he's gonna beat him and stuff, and he gets interrupted by the Undertaker, but not the Phenom version, the American Badass version. He comes out with a motorcycle, man. We haven't seen this. I kind of grew up on this more. I kind of, when I was a kid, this was more of the version I saw, the American Badass. So this brought me back to my childhood, low key. So this was fun to watch, man. The American Badass, man. I wonder if now that he's retired, he's gonna, every time he presents himself, he's gonna present himself as the American Badass and kind of retire the Phenom, the Deadman character. It's probably more easier for him, right? Where if you're the Undertaker, you have to do the makeup. You have to probably make sure you have long hair. So that's the thing too. I feel like the guy's like, you know what, guys? I want to cut my hair. I'm not trying to wear makeup all the time. I'm not trying to wear extensions if my hair's too short. So this is probably an easy way for him to present himself on WWE TV going forward as the American Badass. So he pretty much he doesn't really say much. LA Knight just leaves the ring. He's like, hey, I heard the rumors you said that this is true. He said that the locker room nowadays is soft compared to the back in the day. He's like, I want to let you know I ain't soft like those guys. And he pretty much like, I'm just gonna let you off the hook here tonight. But I would put you down if I really had to. And then he just starts walking away. And then Bray Wyatt appears, and then he runs back in the ring. He's like, American Badass, I forgot everything I said. I'm sorry about threatening you. And Undertaker just freaking grabs him by the throat. It looks like he's going to chokeslam him. But instead, he throws him into Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt hits him with Sister Abigail. And then we just have a cool moment, man, where Bray Wyatt and Undertaker kind of hug each other. Undertaker whispers something into Bray Wyatt. And then he just walks away. It was almost like the passing of the torch. You're the new Undertaker, Bray Wyatt. That was kind of cool, man. Good stuff right there. But interesting to see how they present Undertaker in the future as just the American Badass. So just because I think it's more easier than the Undertaker, because, like I said, having to have always long hair, the makeup, the extensions. We'll see what happens. Maybe it was just tonight. Who knows? Let's see, what else did we get? With more people playing poker backstage. And then we're gonna get the steel cage match, man. Bayley versus Becky Lynch, but instead just Solo Sikoa and Dakota Kai along with Bayley attack Becky Lynch. They locked themselves in the steel cage and they just beat the hell out of her. A bunch of referees and security guards, Adam Pearce, they're trying to get in the cage. They're trying to unlock it. They finally cut the lock, but it's too late. By the time they get in there, Becky Lynch is just too beat up, so they can't do the match. They had to cut the match. Apparently, they just didn't have any time, which I thought that the last hour, they could have used this match, man. I thought they kind of panicked a little bit, thinking they were going to run out of time. But that, like, a lot of that stuff from that final hour with, like, they had a huge segment with first Charlotte, Ric Flair presenting Charlotte, and then you had Bianca Belair coming out. Then you had Sonya Deville coming out, leading to a match between Bianca Belair and Sonya Deville. And then after that, you had a little backstage segment where Alexa Bliss tells Bianca Belair, I'm coming for you. I don't need Bray Wyatt. I don't need Uncle Howdy. Alexa Bliss is coming for your tag team, for your women's championship. Outside of that, of the end, the little backstage segment with Alexa Bliss, everything else could have been cut off, man. Then later on, we also had a freaking Miz Kevin Owens segment that also could have been cut off. All of that could have been cut off for the cage match between Bayley and Becky Lynch, man. Honestly, I think they sort of panicked, thinking they were going to run out of time. But they could have just, like, the first 30 minutes of the third hour should have just been cut off and just should have the cage match, honestly, man. Really. Seriously. So they can do the cage match. Becky Lynch is too beat up. So, yeah. And then we get D-Generation X, man. Freaking, we get Shawn Michaels, the Road Dogg, Triple H, X-Pac, but along with Kurt Angle, poor Kurt Angle, they had nothing to do apparently for him, so they just had him come out to the ring with DX, and then right away, you know, they get interrupted by Imperium, Gunther, and the Luke Kaiser and the Da Vinci, and it was funny because the you know, Gunther's like challenging them to a match, and they're all, Triple H is like, I'm retired, and Shawn's like, I'm too old. And I think X-Pac said something about a leg injury. Freaking Road Dogs. Who am I kidding? I'm not fighting either. And freaking Triple H, stay back there, Butterbean. And then they try to get Kurt Angle to do it. He's like, I'm not doing it either. I'm too old too. So Triple H is like, if there was just somebody that would come out here and fight these guys, and come Seth Rollins, and then comes the Street Profits. And then they had another funny moment because everybody's just like looking at Triple H. They're like, what are you guys looking at me for? You guys act like this booking decision is so easy. If there was anybody that could do this, that can come out here and make this official or something. And Teddy Long comes out, holla, holla, holla. And he just freaking makes a six-man tag team match, the Street Profits and Seth Rollins versus the Imperium. And they make Triple H again, like, I think we need a special guest referee, and he makes Kurt Angle the special guest referee. Good match, man. All the, you know, entertaining stuff. So good stuff. Because I feel like back in the day when Vin was in charge, DX would have just buried Imperium, right? So they did a good job. Okay, they lost, but they lost to a present tag team and Seth Rollins and Street Profits, instead of getting just buried and beat up by a bunch of old legends, right? So that was good. Same thing early in the show. You had The Undertaker pretty much pass a torch to Bray Wyatt. So that was also pretty good. So yeah, man, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see here. This show, man, was loaded, man. Jesus Christ, man. And then, you know, they're still playing poker. I think finally JBL and Baron Corbin win the whole money. But then comes the IRS guy. What was his name? I forgot what his name was. And he's like, everybody has to pay their taxes. And he takes all the money away. And he just leaves them with like $1 bill. And then freaking Ron Simmons comes out like, damn! Kind of funny. Whatever. And then, like I said, we had the Charlotte promo where Ric Flair comes out, pretty much introduces her. Charlotte does a promo. Then Bianca Belair comes out. Then Sonya Deville comes out, leads to a match between Bianca Belair and Sonya Deville. Of course, Bianca Belair wins the match. After the match, like I said, she kind of calls out Alexa. Alexa does the promo backstage saying, I don't need Bray Wyatt, I don't need Uncle Howdy, I'll beat you myself. They could have cut all that stuff out and let Becky Lynch and Bayley have the cage match. And then we get John Cena is going to be on 2K23. I believe it comes out in March. I believe Bad Bunny's a playable character. Holy cow. So then The Miz comes out. He's just pretty much complaining, how come, no Miz TV, no title match, no respect for Miz TV. I don't know where Kevin Owens comes out from the crowd and he just freaking stunners him. And he also does a promo how he's ready for Roman Reigns. It's like, Roman Reigns this Saturday night. Either I beat you and become the new WWE Universal Champion, or I die trying. So, again, could have been avoidable. I think that could have been saved for SmackDown. It's again, could have had that all this time, could have had the cage match. And then here we go with the main event. This was rushed, man, especially Young. Austin Theory defending the United States Championship versus Bobby Lashley. Good match going back and forth. Remember, this match was a no disqualification. But at the end, man, freaking Brock Lesnar comes out and he hits the F5 on Bobby Lashley. And then he hits an F5 on Austin Theory, but he throws him right on top of Bobby Lashley. So the referee just counts 1, 2, 3. Austin Theory wins. He is still the United States champion. And then right after they just cut off, they ran out of time, literally at 10:00. Like, I don't think that was WWE. I felt that was USA Network cutting them off. Like, it's time to move on. Man, they should have let them stay on these an extra 3 to 5 minutes. Their whole timing was messed up. They went to their final commercial break was like at 9:55. It's like, what are you doing? There's only 5 minutes left. Why are you going to? That's when you had a feeling something like weird was going to happen. Like it was 9:55 and they were on commercial break. They came back like at 9:58, 9:57. They kind of like mismanaged some of like the last hour, I thought. But yeah, so pretty much Brock Lesnar costs Bobby Lashley the United States Championship. So this probably plants the seeds for another match, probably most likely at WrestleMania, being that there were only 5 days away from Royal Rumble. They're not gonna rush the feud either. So probably it's interesting though with the whole storyline with MVP and the Hurt Business, and they even had Omos help them win the Fatal 4-Way or the 6-man, whatever the hell that was last week, to earn the right to be the number one contender. So pretty interesting where they go from here with this whole Bobby Lashley. He's all of a sudden in a bunch of different stuff, whether it's with MVP and Omos and the Hurt Business, or even now with this Brock Lesnar. Let's see what happens. It was a good show, but I felt that, like, again, I'm going to say it again, should have taken Kevin Owens, the Miz segment out, should have taken the Charlotte, Bianca Belair, Sonya Deville. This is what happened, I believe. Which, no, because I just don't understand, like, why the hell? They just didn't have nothing for Ric Flair, but he just came out and he just introduced him and then he left. So they should have just done something backstage with Ric Flair. Maybe have him be a part of a backstage segment, maybe with the poker people. I don't know. They could have, and it's I don't understand why they decided to do these 2 segments with Charlotte, Bianca Belair, and Sonya Deville, and then Kevin Owens and The Miz instead of the cage match. They could have had a 20 to 30 minute cage match if you take those 2 segments away, and you still could have. You probably still would have rushed. Another thing they should have probably done is maybe try to at least get an extra 5 to 10 minutes from USA Network. You could tell they were still going. It was probably USA Network that cut them off. So they should have, maybe next time they got to tell USA Network, hey, on these type of shows, we're to pack up. We might need an extra few minutes before we get off the airwaves. Who knows? It was a good show. Obviously, the biggest thing was the Bloodline and Sami Zayn. And then the tag team match, the way how Sami replaces Jimmy and helps him retain that tag team title. I thought the Undertaker, Bray Wyatt, LA Knight segment was actually pretty good too. I thought the Triple H, the DX, Kurt Angle, Imperium, I thought that was funny. I thought like the first hour, 90 minutes were by far the best part of the show. Typical Monday Night Raw, right? As we start winding down to like halfway through the show into that third hour, start kind of getting boring. Not super boring compared to other weeks, but my recommendation would be watch the first 60 to 90 minutes if you don't want to watch the whole show. Those were by far the best parts. But anyways, until next time, holla at your boy!